Item 7B2, the report regarding facilities, maintenance and operations, monthly projects. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. This is a monthly report from the Facilities Maintenance and Operation Department. Dr. Barrera and Ruben Trevino are here to walk us through this month's projects, and this item is for information only.
And good evening, everybody, and we invite Mr. Ruben Trevino, our Executive Director for Facilities Maintenance and Operations, to bring you this month's report. I'll turn it over to Ruben.
Good evening. This is a report for the month ending in February. The first slide that you see here is the renovations that we've been working on over at the PD for the Emergency Operations Center. We've gone ahead and reconfigured part of the booth areas that the PD had in the back that were not being used. Now we have the Emergency Operations Center house within the police department. We will be having our pretty much every department, dispatch, camera, video wall, everything will be in one building standalone. The department has also been wired already by in-house staff to be connected fully to our generators that we have at Crockett. So now this building is able to operate on generators in case of an emergency. The next slide is the completed projects, the proposals that we submitted to the city CDBG grant. We submitted $101,500 for city school park fencing, Travis Middle School tennis court resurfacing, $60,000, and playground replacement and refurbishment at different campuses, along with a all-inclusive playground set for $300,000.
Those are completed, requested projects?
Those are just requests.
Those
that
are
we
just requests,
submitted to
okay.
the city. We
Thank you,
submitted
sir.
these applications about 3 weeks ago.
Thank you.
Completed projects over the last month and a half for the HVAC department. Our Navarro Elementary School 10-ton condenser unit was replaced, 5-ton condenser at Alvarez, a 20-ton condenser unit at Memorial High School. Achieve, several wall-mounted units were replaced as well, and Rowe High School sensors have been replaced, and preventive maintenance on the chillers was done. On the electrical projects, McHigh repaired some lighting in both gyms, replaced all the lighting fixtures. Fossa Middle School repaired some of the gym lighting and replaced a lot of the bulbs, most all of them. Water heater was replaced in the teacher lounge. Stickman Zavala parking lot lighting that was requested for safety reasons has now been installed in the front area of the campus. Memorial High School, the front door was repaired. Milam replaced also some wall packs and added some security lighting to the front of the campus. Plumbing projects, Milam, this was a big undertaking over the spring break week. It was a P-trap that had to be completely excavated, dug out inside the school, and we went ahead and took care of that already. Lincoln Middle School replaced also a water heater, along with Alvarez repaired several drains as well. Ongoing projects on the safety component, we have the Garza Elementary School security entrance upgrade. What you see there is one of the classrooms as you walk into the campus on the left-hand side. On the right bottom, you'll see where you have a reception window inside the hall area, inside the security doors, and also another reception window on the other side of the security doors to be able to greet people as they walk in and then allow them to go through the security doors. This was a classroom / counselor's area that was available, and we went ahead and started the process 2 weeks ago. The next slide is Rayburn Elementary. You'll see the 2 windows, which is the same layout. Roosevelt, we had the same thing done, all in-house. Rayburn is almost complete as well. They'll be moving their front office area to that extra classroom on the side. And the 2 new, the old office areas will now be converted for data rooms or staff conference area in the right in the front of the school. Also, we have the ongoing projects for the middle school safety entrances. What you see here is a Brown Middle School. If you'll see, the front entrance right now is at the bottom, over by the end of school, where it says school right there is the front entrance. That will take a second set of glass doors right there that would be installed. We would create an opening to walk into the waiting area. Once you walk into the school, that would be the waiting area. We have reception option number 1, which is at the top. That's currently an assistant principal's office. And reception option number 2 is also an assistant principal's office. We could convert either one of the two to be the reception area for the receptionist that now sits in the area where it says waiting area right now. We would then install the striker on the door that would lead out to the hallway past the security doors, so that could be controlled by the receptionist once they approach the school. And that is probably the most cost-effective solution for that particular situation at that campus. The next one is Cathy Middle School. If you'll see the front entrance right there, those are the doors that normally lead straight into the hallway, right there. We would be creating on the windows to the right-hand side as you walk in, a new entrance, reconfiguring the reception area with a counter and a new wall with a door to access the back reception area. And you'd have the waiting area in the front with a striker on the door leading to the hallway, which is the door right now that leads into the front office from the hallway once you walk in. The next one is De Leon. De Leon right there, this area here is now a totally different area. That's just a new layout that we put together with Mr. Grossweiler and some of his staff. The area that you see where at the bottom, full metal door with full glass, that would be the entrance that is right now as you're approaching the campus to the right-hand side on that corner, that brick wall. You would walk in there through that front entrance to the waiting area. Then you'd have the reception window for the receptionist. Walk in through that door with a striker, and then that would take you to the hallway into the main hall. So you would have a brand new reception area over here on the bottom left, where you see the word Alonso there. That is the entrance to the breezeway that you have there now. We would have to come up with some a decorative metal iron gate with the panic devices to where those would be closed after the school day starts, and that would allow everybody to walk in through one entrance alone. Fossa Middle School is a minor change to the front entrance. As you can see, that's a reception area that they currently have. We would only be changing out the big sliding window that they currently have there to a service window with a talking area and the opening at the bottom to be able to submit any paperwork or anything that you need. At Lincoln Middle School would take a set of 4 doors to match, and that would be something that resembles what was done at the elementary schools, to where you have the second set of doors, and then it allows you to talk to the reception area where it's currently at. We would just slide the window to the south to create enough space for ADA accessibility, and the doors to the gym, which are at the very top, those would have to be locked at all times as well, so that there would be no entrance, no accessibility to the gym through those doors. The next one is Morris Middle School. This particular layout that you see here for Morris was the first option that we had spoken with Morris administration. We've gone now to a separate, to another option, which now this particular option here was going to include 2 sets of doors on the hallways, and that would create the flow of students through the back of the cafeteria. After studying it carefully and spending some time out there with Mr. McClinney and seeing the flow of kids, we've decided that this is not the best option. The other option that we have gone with as of pretty much Friday or Thursday of last week is to create a new reception area, and we would be creating a new opening on the exterior window that they currently have there to the left of the main entrance, and that would walk you straight into the reception area and slice the reception area into two, and have a waiting with a receptionist window on the left-hand side. And then a striker would be placed on the door that would lead you back into the main hallway. Travis Middle School is also a set of doors that would be placed right past the reception area that's already there. And that's also something that shouldn't take, too much to do and can be done rather quick as well. On the middle school projects that I just discussed, if I was to put a price to some of these upgrades, we've got quotes on three of them that would take the doors with the panic devices with the strikers, and then we've made some estimates on the rest of them. We're probably looking in the neighborhood of about $95,000 to $110,000 to do all 7 middle schools. So a lot of that work could be done in-house, and we'll be starting on quite a bit of them here pretty quick.
That was gonna be my question. And once you start, how soon? A couple?
The hardware would take some time, but it's not that much. We would be outsourcing the actual glass and door installation to one of the glass companies that we've gone out for bids and quotes. And then the other portion, we would be doing in-house as time permits. And at the elementary schools, it's been a little easier because those classrooms are able to be
Converted.
worked on during the day. We just shut the door and guys are working there. There's no traffic. These other modifications, involve the front areas of the schools. So I'm looking at preparing pretty much everything and getting them done the first part of the summer.
Trustee Saliver.
Thank you. Thank you for your report. I appreciate it, especially dealing with these 7 schools, the middle schools. Has this been gone by our in-house or on-call architect to look at these plans?
Not yet. These are just preliminary drawings that we're able to put together, and a lot of them wouldn't require an in-house architect to look.
Review?
Yeah.
Okay. The other is, it's been expressed that the glass for the receptionist and the secondary glass after you come from the main doors, what can be done with those glass under the fire marshal code? Can it be a bulletproof? Can it be a wire mesh put in between? Can it be a laminate type glass? What is allowed?
Right now, by code, is tempered glass.
Tempered glass.
Yes, for safety reasons. We can further check and ask and see if it can be changed to a different type, and report back on the options.
If it is the tempered glass, how much framing are you allowed on that door? Can it be less glass and more metal surface? Or all metal surface, or you have to have glass within that door going into the building after you leave the waiting area?
The glass could be minimized. It could be minimized quite a bit and put in more metal framing or more aluminum framework throughout there. So that, I guess, you're probably referring to as if the glass were to break, you'd end up with a big open area, and you'd want some more divisions in it.
Right.
Okay, that can be designed to meet whatever spacing we want.
Okay. What about the glass that's between the waiting room and the reception? Again, that's a tempered glass, right?
Yes.
Is there anything that can be done in that respect to provide more of a barrier, less glass surface, any type of laminate?
We can look at those options as well. A lot of these walls that we're proposing for the reception area is just the actual window. The rest of it is a solid wall with, drywall. So, metal studs and drywall. So we can certainly look at minimizing the area of glass.
Because what's the dimension of that space? It looks like it's a 3x5.
Normally,
Reception.
it's about a 3x5, yes.
Pretty good wide area. If somebody breaks it, you're in there.
Yeah.
That's been a concern expressed, so I want to see what options may be available that are allowed. You already mentioned timeline. The schools like Kathy and De Leon and Morris, which have they have many doors and a very wide entrance, you're literally inside the building. Since you're going to be moving where the entrance is going to be now, what's going to happen to those doors? Are they going to remain and can only be exited and no entrance, or how are you going to plan to do that?
Those doors would be just like if you go to any of our elementaries right now that have a set of 4 doors in the front, normally only the far left is used during the day. Morris is another example. It's got the 4 doors in front. Only the left one closest to the entrance is the only one that's unlocked during the day. So the rest of them would be open in the mornings, and then once the school day starts, they're all locked.
Now, let's say there's somebody inside the building. Are they able to exit to the doors and hold those doors open for anybody
By-
to come in and
by-
bypass the waiting area?
By code, we need to have the panic device for egress, fire safety.
Are those going to be tied into a lock where the receptionist can unlock those remotely or electronically?
Only the main door,
Only the main door?
yes.
So those doors will not have a mechanism to lock them, and only the panic button where the receptionist can unlock them during the day?
They'll be able to be locked from the exterior, but in case of an emergency from the inside, you have your push bars, your panic devices that will open the door and create your exits, your emergency exits.
And that's required by fire marshal
Yes.
code, it's not McAllen steel?
Yes.
Thank you. You kept mentioning strikers. Can you further define what the striker?
And the striker is the mechanism in the door that you're able to open, that's wired to wherever the person is sitting down, and you're able to unlock and lock that particular door from where you're at.
Is that electrical or is it mechanical?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
electrical.
both.
It's both. Thank you very much for your time and presentation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
We've also included some of the sites for the high schools on this particular slide here. We have McAllen High School, which is the security hut that you see on the top left corner that will be taken down. And we're right now looking at 2 different options of relocating the hut. One of them being almost in the center of the picture where you see that island, the green island right there to the right, right there, to create an area there to where everybody that's gonna be coming in, if they're not going straight into the bus drive or the parking area, and they're only going to the visitors area, they're still gonna get checked and cleared in that area. The other one that we've been discussing with Mr. Canales from McAllen High School is possibly putting a security hut over by Bulldog Drive in the entrance to the parking area, and have everybody come in and close the black gates that we have there in the front, ornamental fence. And that way, everybody would come in through one point at Bulldog and then come into the front and circle back around. So that's another option that we're looking at, to create one entry and one point of entry only.
That makes sense.
For McAllen, and we had that meeting last week to discuss those different options. Our next slide is over at Memorial. Memorial is already closing one of the gates during the day, and it allows you to go in and come back out through the same area. However, where you see the gates to walk into the courtyard, you still have access to the courtyard area where kids are out during lunch. So we're looking at possibility of placing one security area by those gates, so that everybody that is out there goes through one gate once the school day starts, And at the same time, we have presence in the front of the school, in another, small security hut for that location. This next, slide is Rowe High School, where we will be relocating the security hut that we installed, here, about a year and a half ago. We're gonna relocate that one further east to allow, for all the traffic to be, checked in that goes through the front of the school or through the back. And then also on the left picture, you see a reception window with the ornamental gates, that are currently there right now that have to get modified to where anybody that's driving up during the day to the front of Rowe High School, you would have that reception area there and then be allowed to go through the breezeway, to the rest of the campus. Here we have Lamar Academy. We're currently looking at the different options that we have, the different areas that we can start with the fencing, with the ornamental fencing that would go around pretty much the whole campus. The north parking area, which is right behind this building to the east, that's part of the staff parking lot that we would have to install some gates that leads through this back door, back this way to 10th. And then we would have to fence the perimeter of the whole campus, and then finalize where the fence would end up over here on the northwest corner, where the portables are at. So all of that is work in progress right now, and we're planning on seeing what the best options are once we decide to do anything with staff development, in the future.
You're working with the city to cut
Yes.
this area right here?
Those areas right there, there's a meeting that will be taking place to see what the best options are gonna be for the entrance and exit for the parking lot to create a smooth flow, going in and coming out.
There and here.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Over the years, many parents have made some really good suggestions about where the bus lane should be. Is there gonna be a rerouting of the bus as part of this, or is the bus still gonna go through the gate and into that courtyard area near it's really right outside this door?
Yes.
And what used to be the tennis court?
Once we create those two new entrances with the city, then it'll be a lot easier for the buses to drive straight in and drive straight out, versus having them park on Jasmine or, making them go all the way around.
We're not gonna displace any teacher parking area like that?
At the time, with what we're looking at, it wouldn't. It's just moving the entrance and the exit a bit ways, with recreating the parking spaces that are there.
And where would be the entrance to the school? Right now, it's off 10th Street. Where would be the official entrance to the school?
The entrance would stay pretty much the same. Well, the areas that we're trying to work with the city are the student parking and staff parking on the back part.
And so what's on Jasmine would be?
That would be the front, the dedicated front entrance. It would stay the same.
So parents and visitors would go there and then go around the corner to 10th Street entrance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. What would it look like inside? Do you know yet? How you plan to design inside?
Here, we're looking at two options, either putting the kiosk because of the way the hallway, the configuration is, or looking at the possibility of putting a second set of doors and creating an entrance to the actual reception area that's there now. But that, we still, have a couple meetings with Dr. Barrera in the historical area.
Is it reasonable to assume that all of this effort will be done by the beginning of this next school year, 2018, August, September?
We would like to. As soon as, we're working right now with administration and trying to put the funding in place and get everything going so that we can start on the process.
Now, each one of these, Mr. Crane, is considered a separate endeavor. So the $50,000 per, it'd be around $50,000 less for each one of these campuses, or are we talking? like for, not counting the fence, but I'm talking about the entrances.
The entrances, well,
Are they around less than 50,000?
it would be less, it just depends. Some are 15 to 19,000 that have the doors. And then some of the in-house work that we're doing, they range between the $10,000 and $15,000 range as well.
And the point I'm getting to is that all falls under the superintendent's authority of 50 per, without required an action of a total security package of one.
Well, I think
board
it depends on how many of those items could be combined into one. You can't break it down and try to sequentially do something to get around the bid law, so, we need to look at that in more detail once the final plans were developed.
And mine was not to get around the bid law, not even touching that, but moving this along where the superintendent within his authority enabled, now that we've been briefed, could begin to address these items rather readily.
It just depends on how many of these items could be combined, based on type of materials being used, et cetera.
Thank you.
Mr. Trevino.
Oh, yes, it was just a follow-up, and actually, trustee Sandoval kind of stole where I was headed with this. I actually, I love the presentation, and I know you mentioned we'll start in summer, and I know but I'm of the opinion that whatever you need to expedite this, even if we have to work weekends or do whatever we do, and Ms. Garcia, whatever we can do to help find the funding, I think this is critical where, you know, we can start now, we do it now. So that's, my opinion, but I don't know what the rest of the board feels, but I think this is a, you know, a safety issue that we need to address ASAP.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it requires a couple of special board meetings or series, depending on what the objective is, I would support that endeavor and that effort. So, we don't need a committee to make this decision.
No.
We'll get it done.
The one thing is, yes, we want to move as fast as we can, but we also have our testing season coming up, so we want to do it with minimal distractions. So we'll get with the administrative team, and we have to work around the clock on weekends and do what we got to do to make it happen without disrupting start testing and end of course testing and things of that sort. But I mean, safety comes even before those state assessments. So we're committed to making it happen as fast as we can.
But
Trustee Alizada.
we still need to have our facilities workshop, though, to see what the intent of Lamar is going to be, though, anyway. Still need to have those conversations.
And,
Any further
Next
questions?
slide is the Garza Elementary roof and the Gonzalez roof replacement, which are both projects are ongoing at this time. And the last slide is the work orders submitted, work orders completed for the month of February, 1253 and 1164.
Any further questions for Mr. Trevino on the FMNO report?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.